Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen, once again back here today for another day of racing action, and it's happy hour, qualifying hour, as we arrive at the fluid round of the second right here. 6 to the left and slowly right in the back as well. The junior wrestlers making way for open race as we have some action scenes for our new students on the first possible spot. Rivals up at our incredible action, 7 rock up. Cube and Fish Forest did an astonishing session, 1.8 seconds. The Dutchman Gordon Master is straight. The soft medium hard a lot of results today. And always a short fashion, and I will switch to the right screen, and I was a bit messy. And qualifying 1 will be underway as Skykai just jumped out of his car, and I don't know what that is about. Let's see, I've missed a good amount of DMs. I saw everyone is hitting the track right now. Oh, that's just me, okay. There's a lot of people now hitting the track. Skykai, both Noob Empire Racing, both NS Motorsports. Chris is here in his LGP racing car as well. Let's see how far we can come today. So we are on board with Skykai, as we also will be keeping an eye on the Park for Meerhoes. Of course, we will be keeping an eye on that with making sure the drivers do not cheat in any way or fashion. There's not a lot of happening, of course, everyone on their out lap. Let's get on board with the guy making a return today. It's the real Cappy, better known as Josh as well. Normally the number 4 machine, it's now driving the 16 due to the fact that the numbers haven't changed yet. Let's see what he can achieve today. As Lemon has flipped apparently. And I have to teleport some people as well. The first lap times are on the board. And the first flying laps were on board with the real Cappy, George. Let's see what he can pull out here today for his first qualifying session. We have 15 people, so we'll be definitely doing a Q1, Q2 and Q3 session. Hoping to see some more faces as well. Junior, of course, the talk of yesterday, that he was very quick and showing very good speed. Infinity with 2 purple sectors looking very quick, but Junior already improving on that. But we're on board with the Josh, and he is looking quite decent as well. The 30.8 sector 1, as he goes through the second sector right now, and it's a 16.1, a little bit less decent, but still good enough for a decent lap. As Infinity goes first with a 109.2, Drifting Case 110.6, Scenic Fan puts in a 111.9, and Josh, what will he do as he crosses the finish line in a short moment time? Across the banking goes, DRS enable, and he will put in a 1 minute and 30 seconds, as Junior has improved on his time of yesterday already with a 1 minute 8.2, absolutely flying today again. In the meantime, I'm still waiting for my co-commentators to show up anytime now, as they are not present here at the moment. So we'll be waiting for that to happen. For the meantime, I'm all by myself. As Junior says, it's going to be hard to improve on his lap time. In the meantime, Chris looking very strong as well. 1 minute 9.6. We haven't seen him all weekend long, and he's here instantly going fast as we are used from him. Admanos now goes to the 5th place spot. As it's a quick pit stop for Josh. He's out again. As Chris forgot to use the arrest system, which is not quite smart from him to do, as we'll go on board with Gib, who is driving the wrong car. Is driving the G-Force machine. Gib, if you could please go in the garage and take the correct car, that would be very great. So Lemon puts in a 1 minute 10.8. And Tristan Casey goes up to P3 at the moment. With the amount of drivers we have right now, it would be... let me do a small calculation of it. Yo, it's Robo Mesa. Robo, are you planning on coming? Oh, he's here.
Duh. Yes.
Whoops. Well. Did I teleport you? Gib, your car is the most right garage, like one of the purple ones with the PM as logo. That would be your car. Alright, Robo Mesa's here as well. Both GMGs fighting for that pole as well. Let's see how they will fare against the top lead here today. But for the time being, it's Junior taking that quickest lap time in qualifying 1. That will mean we have 17 cars in the qualifying. That will mean we will lose a 5 in the first session and 5 in another session, leaving us with a top 7 for pole position. As Dre says, his job here is done. He's gonna come to the races, put a valid lap time on the board, and he's very happy with that. Wacky Harrison in P12. As we're still on board with Infinity, let's go on board with Aqua Car. Aqua looking fairly decent for the first part of the weekend, now struggling a little bit as Josh goes to P7. Aqua now across the first sector. What will he do? It's an invalid first sector, so we'll keep on going with a different guy who might be improving. There are any improvements going on? Not really, not anything valid for the time being. Robo Mesa is putting in his first lap time, but I think that's his out lap to begin with. And through the chicanes he goes. That second sector, the first sector was it's a 31.7, 16.0 sector 2. I definitely believe it's his out lap. It looks like a very fast out lap though, but we'll be on board with him once he starts his first lap. And I'm very excited to see what he can perform today. I was struggling all the weekend long, but can he improve or find anything at all in qualifying out of nowhere? Across the finish line to start his lap, taking P10 for the moment. Into turn 1 he goes. It takes it beautifully well here. Looks like a very tight but good line. And through turn 5 and 6 he goes now. The long left-hander keeps it relatively straight. Almanos improves to 1/8 as well, taking that P3 spot. And Ala Football improves. What's the first sector looking like? Oh, 31.4, not too great for him. Will sector 2 be anything better? And that will be a 16.0. I don't think it's gonna be a flying lap, a very flying lap for him as we go on board with twin turbo V6. His select sector times look very decent as well. He's currently setting second in the board. However, he has put in 2 valid lap times, so decent sectors. It's not going to count for anything. Goes into the pit lane. And he goes for his pit stop as there's a Noob Empire Racing leaving the pits again. At the time we have 17 guys on track, and one of them not with a valid lap time yet. Injured man not putting in the valid lap times. We'll see how far he can come today. So we'll go on board with Drifting Casey, the man on Lambo, on those medium tires, but we're gonna go on board with Junior instead. He's had a purple sector 1 with a 29.8. Can he go even quicker in the second sector? Through the chicanes he moves himself up. Now through the second sector it's invalid. It will not be an improvement. Is there anyone improving? Drifting Casey with a 30.7 sector 1. And what is his second sector? It's a 16.1. I don't think it's gonna be a very good second lap at all. As Gip puts himself in P12. I'm still waiting for my co-commentators to show up. For the time being, no real sign of them, but that's fine. Q1 is just on the way, and we still have some sessions to go after this. Q2 and Q3 as well. 17 times on the board, and it's I Love Football in P9. He was struggling in the earlier parts of the session as well, even in the season as well, being beaten by his teammate, but it seems like he has that upper hand above Aquacar. Aquacar now a new team boss as well. A very interesting story how that all works out. But we're going to go on board with Scenic Fan. New face, Scuderia Ferrari. Let's see where he goes. Currently in the drop zone though. Aquacar as well. Gip just being in the advancing zone, but the bottom 5 are not going through the Q2 session. Yeah, it's definitely a Q2, a Q2 and a Q3 session. We finally have enough drivers and not too much issues to make that happen. Robo Mesa moves up a place, goes to P9, and Lemon is now in P11. The Twin had a very good sector 1, but it was invalid. Sector 2, so it's not going to be a valid lap time. No one really improving except for the real Cappy. Let's go on board with Josh. What will he perform here? Is that valid? It looked like it might be tricky. As he goes here through the second sector. What's the second sector looking like? 16.3, not too fast. Through the final sector he comes across the back straight. He goes. Will he improve on his lap time? And it will be a 1 minute 9.8, not an improvement for him. Atmanos not going fast as well. Any improvements? Not really. We only have 6 minutes left in the session, and as it stands, not everyone will go through. Especially Aquacar, who had a podium in Australia. That would be an upset and a half if he cannot advance through the next session today. As it's a big while on track, of course, the championship taking home some 3 points today if you get that pole position spot, and it looks like that Junior might get it today. Twin Turbo V6, a very good contender as well, but might it be one of the Lambos taking it away? We don't know yet, although some of the drivers are a bit slower than yesterday and some of them are quicker than yesterday. Looking at a Drifting Casey who was a little bit struggling yesterday, with a Robo Mesa and a Lemon being a bit further back than they were yesterday, though they are in an advancing zone for the time being, but Lemon is not too far away from being eliminated. 4 minutes remaining, and let's see how the times look like on the timing sheet. No one written a real improvement going on here. It's a decent looking run for Lemon. Let's get on board with Lemon, the man from Sweden, as he will cross the finish line right here. Will he be improving? And it is indeed an improvement for Lemon. He goes to P6 with a 109.5. We'll be keeping an eye on the Parc Fermé rules as well. Changing your setup has devastating results going with it. Of course, if you change your setup before the race starts, you will be having without noticing, you will be having a free place result drop instead of a grid drop. So you'll be having to go to get some places to the back, as Lemon has to go. As it stands, he's still making Q2. So if he can come back before the start of before the end of Q2, he might still get a run to go to Q3. We'll see what he does here. Will he continue or not? Any times improving. It's Drifting Casey with a green sector 1. Let's go on board with the man who just joined Lambo Racing, as it's very busy in the sector. A bit of racing going on as well. Might be a bit distracting for him, as 15.7 sector 2 not looking too bad, as there's a bit of rubber banding going on as well. What will his time look like as he goes through the banking? It's 4 or 5 cars battling around for position. Of course, there's no real pack lead going on. Across the finish line they will go. Drifting Casey, can he improve? And it's a 109.2. He improves in lap time. He does not improve in terms of position. As he now goes through the grass, that's a corner cut for sure. As there's only 2 minutes remaining, so we'll be seeing the last few lap times. Let's go on board with Adman. He has 2 green sectors. As I cannot find Adman. There we go. As he goes through the final corner, can he improve on his lap time? 2 green sectors, 30.2, 15.6, looking very strong across the finish line. He'll come, and he jumps to second place with a 108.4 for him. And with 2 minutes to go, we also still have the same bottom 5 not advancing through the next session for qualifying. That will take 50 minutes, and then Q3 of course will only take 12 minutes. After that we have the race in an hour after that. As we'll be seeing some good faces returning and driving today. 17 people in qualifying, very happy with that and grateful you guys can come here today. As Albanos with an invalid first sector, a lot of invalid first sectors. Chris with a 21.7 first sector, he cut the chicane. Robomace with a green sector 2, but not an improvement enough for him. Was close to his best lap time. Drifting Case is proving yet again. We're going back with the man in Lambo. So he goes through the second sector once again. Can he improve? Let's see how he all works out. Followed by a Asterion Motorsports. I'm not sure if that's Twin or DR8 Club. If I look at the timing sheet, it's Twin Turbo V6 right behind him. Not a strong sector 1. Twin is flying though. Can he go faster? Cross the finish line, Drifting Gacy moves up to P4, but what about Twin Turbo V6 with a 108.0? Twin to the top of the board, and unsurprising at least. Twin very fast of course, but today he's very quick, quicker than yesterday, 4/10, as his teammate is cheering him on, being 1.9 seconds behind, 1.6 seconds behind his teammate, but a very good move for the Asterion Motorsports as Q1 almost comes to an end. I'll be keeping an eye on the people who are finishing their laps, as I love football is done. finishing his final lap. Cannot improve. Chris finishing his final lap. And Chris is done as well. 2 invalid sectors. Chris is done. Is there anyone improving? Aqua with a green sector 1. Can Aqua work his way out of that drop zone? As Altmanos, just in case he puts in his final lap. We're here on board with Aqua Car. Aqua, the second sector, is looking not too strong, but can he do something good? As Wacky Harrison across the finish line. He's in the drop zone as well. Can he get out of it? He cannot. He's stuck in the drop zone as well. Aqua Car in the meantime across the finish line. He will come. Can he get himself out of the drop zone? And he improves, but it's not enough. Just missing out by 1 position. Lemon is done as well. As Palace Lover is putting in his final lap. It's invalid. And Aqua Car is out of the qualifying session, and that's Q1 over. And the man who got a podium last time around is out of the session. I don't think he's gonna be very happy with that, but Q1 is ended. As qualifying 1 has ended here today. Aqua are not happy with that, but it is what it is. In the meantime, we're going back to the pits and maybe see if we can hook someone up in an interview. Maybe someone who has dropped. As Mrs. G-Ray just joined the game. It's a little bit too late. He'll be starting P18. Yeah, the top 12 are advancing through as Q2 is starting in about 5 minutes. We get the notification right now on the top of board. In the meantime, let's see if Almanos want to interview. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna interview you first because you're still in the qualifying session. Is there anyone that's out of the session and would like to be interviewed? Injureman is out of the session. Let's interview Injureman, the man who has been featured here in the interviews multiple times. Injureman, that was not the best qualifying today.
I wasn't.
You're bottom on the pack, not far behind Dre though, but a little bit behind. Let's see how that all works out in the race. But tell us, what was the thing that did not make you help the car?
Well, I had 3 wheels, so that didn't work really well. I didn't know if we could change cars, so I just went and kept going 3 wheels. So yeah, I just
kind of explains the pace as well. You're starting P17. Of course, there are some people who didn't make qualifying or did qualify or joined the qualifying but never did a lap like Steel, so they will be starting behind you. Of course, it's not a very good thing to be starting P17, but do you think you can make your way back into the points at the top 12 where you get the points? Do you see yourself getting points again?
No. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not been the greatest session, not been the greatest season. But all I can do is just race and see what I can do. It's not gonna be like Australia where everyone's crashing all the time and getting easy points. Well, not easy points because I smashed into lap 2, but easier points if you just drive slow. So yeah, I can't wait for 40 laps of hell, but yeah.
Alright, yeah, of course, gonna be 41 long laps in the race. Of course, the lap times are not that long. No offense, but it might be a little bit less laps for you, but maybe the leader's lapping you. So yeah, let's see how that all fares out. Tough luck today, but good luck in the race.
Yep. I've got one more message. Up the Crystal Palace, the FA Cup champions. That's all I want to say now.
Alright. As I don't know if Gib wants an interview. The man made a debut and he made it through to Q2, although he was very close to being eliminated. If you look at the gap between Aqua and Gib, it is 0.03 seconds. I don't know if Gib wants to be interviewed. I've invited him to stage. Yeah, that's the same Gib. It is. You're the same Gib. Gibby Gib Gib. I know, Outman, but you're through to the next session. We'll interview you later. He's not responding. Okay. As I have made a screenshot of the results. Yes, you're also through, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, my apologies, Skip. As we'll be going green in about 1 minute time. 50. We're not green yet. If I hear cars leaving the pit, that would be very interesting. Both GMGs made it through. The Gap made it through. Lemon is here. Both Lambos are still here. Let's see what we can achieve here in Q2. As we're green now here for the second qualifying session. As RoboMaster said, he will finish last here for that Q2 session. As Obama is still very desperate to get an interview. Not very important. RoboMaster with a very, very interesting lap time. 6 minute 44.1. A very fast lap time indeed. Minute 32.6. So we'll be going on board with Al of Football, who's still in the pit, so we'll be going on board with Gib. There's currently 9 cars on track. There's still a few people missing from that first session, as we had 12 people advance through the first qualifying session. Twin Turbo V6 outlap as well, but a good second one anyway. Still has to rejoin, but a little bit too late. The top 7 advanced through, even if we now have less people that are driving on track. But that's fine. Eurate Club back on track as well. It's Junior with the first fire here today as he goes on the straight here into turn 1. My apologies, turn 8 even. I was looking a little bit wrong here. With a good section 1 as well, 29.7, quicker than Twin did with his 29.8. He had 15.7 seconds actually. Can he improve? Of course, they brought a upgrade package here today, the new team. They are fully weight reducted and all the lightest car grid by a good shot compared to some other teams. And a 1.7, yes he does, a 1.77. A very good lap by him. Twin Turbo though is going even quicker in the first sector. Can Twin go below him as he goes through the final few corners? It's Robo Mesa up to second place, but I think that will change as soon Twin crosses the finish line. He has exited the banking. Admanos takes that second place spot. Twin across the finish line. And Twin takes second. Could not improve in the final sector. Junior has taken a very quick second sector, 4 times quicker than Twin, and that takes a lot of top speed onto the back stretch and the front stretch as well. As Stuart tries to rejoin. As now 11 cars on track, still missing one guy. That's fine. Ala Football goes to the 5th place spot, and that's decent from him. I think we are missing a Lemon, or not. No, I'm just blind. Okay. I don't know who we missed, but that's one guy less to worry about. He'll be starting P12 on guaranteed. Twin Turbo V6 in the moment with a very good run on the first few laps. Junior just a little bit quicker, but Infinity is flying as well. Very good second sector. Can he take a lot of speed into the final corner? Drifting Casey with a 1 minute 10 up to P5. Infinity though, the eyes are on him across the finish line. He will come. And it was an invalid last sector, but it would have been good for a P3 position. Drifting Casey in the top 5, the Cappy as well in the top 5 with a 1 minute 9:05. Not a lot of improvement going on here. We have a 41.7 from Infinity. We have a green. In the meantime, we are just checking some stuff in the background. Lemon puts his first valid lap time. That's not anything to be happy about either. In the meantime, not a lot of changing, although Robomace has broken into that 1 minute 9 and is now finding the time he needed to have. For the time being, Park May doesn't look too bad as well. Twin Turbo V6, we're gonna go on board with Twin Turbo V6 is on a flyer. Will he smash that time away? The track record, of course, is already broken. Last season we had Chris with a 109 as a track record, 109.1. It's now a 107.7, but Junior, can his time be beaten? No, it will not. A very bad last sector for Twin. As Lemon is struggling to find a valid lap time, he's put in a decent sector 1 of 30.7. So he goes through the second sector. Can he keep something of speed here? He's still in the drop zone. So is Gib, Infinity, and those three basically. The right Club is in the drop zone as well, but he has not even set a valid lap time. It's an invalid lap time yet again for Lemon. So it's not looking good for him the time being. Lemon goes very high to take as much speed as possible across the front stretch into turn 1. As Nico, I assume that's Nico Alex, has joined. It's indeed Nico Alex, I believe, or not. No, it's not Nico Alex. I'm not sure, some Nico joined. That's very interesting to see. People joining Infinity with a green sector 1 will go on board with Infinity himself. Gib moves himself out of the elimination zone, but he's right on the chopping board as he's only P7. As okay, Mr. G-Ray has been kicked for cheating, which is interesting. Infinity looking very good as well. Lemon improving as well, but we're on board with Infinity as he goes through the final banking part here. Right in front of him a Lambo, right behind him a GMG. That might be the packing order in the race as well. Across the finish line he goes, and he moves himself up to P3, and that moves Gib back to the elimination zone. We'll be going back with Lemon. He looks very decent in the first sector. Second sector 60.0, not too bad but not too great either. Through the banking he goes. The GMG with ERS excels here. Can he put something interesting across the finish line? He comes. And he moves himself up to P4 and puts his teammate onto the edge of the elimination zone. Robo Mesa might need to improve and find a little bit more time if he wants to stay in there. Is the Alright Club even driving? Yeah, he still is, I think. I can't really see what he's doing though. He is still driving, still invalid lap times, so that would mean that he's out of the qualifying session. He does put lap times in that are good enough to advance, but he cannot really find a good lap time yet. So you go through the first sector. Let's go on board with the R8 Club, who were spectating off screen. Through the long left hander he goes. Preferably you would have stayed a little bit closer to the curves. He goes a bit wide, but that's manageable, I think, as he goes through the first sector, and it's a valid 30.3. That's something you can work with as he goes through the second sector here in Indy. Of course, it's the only track that has been featured, the only country that has been featured in every season. Of course, together with Italy. Italy has been featured on the same calendar, on every calendar as well. Although we went to Miami once, big mistake, and we're going back to Indy ever since, as the R8 Club now goes through the final sector of the track. Not a good sector 2 though, but will he be able to make up for that in the final sector? Across the finish line he will come, and he moves himself up to P8, still out of the session with 4 minutes remaining. And Drifting Casey is there as well. What's happening with Drifting Casey not being able to find the groove he wants? So he goes through the first sector. That was a 32.0, not too great. I think he'll be starting his lap right now. Twin Turbo V6 with a 108.1. And for the rest, all invalid lap times. As we'll be seeing how Drifting Casey does his lap here in Indianapolis. Through turn 1 he will come in a short moment, taking as much speed you want, maybe 350 even at one point. Misses the apex a little bit. You can cut that curve a little bit more, I think. So now goes through 3 and 4. Can he keep it clean on the good stuff? He sticks the long left-hander. Want to be staying as close to the curb as you can. Goes pretty wide here, but takes a lot of speed into 7. What will his first sector of time look like? A 30.7, green sector 1 for him. The R8 Club has moved himself in front of Robo. But Drifting Casey, the man who can knock them both out if he gets a good sector 2 here. Ooh, a little bit of grass, but looking invalid as well, so that's not going to be an improvement for him. Robo Mesa, what is he up to? 30.4 and 15.9. Can he improve on this lap? He does. He's up to 6th place, looking stronger than yesterday, and I think that his teammate Bob will be a little bit more happy with the performance he's giving today. Although still behind Twin Turbo, Infinity and Junior, although those are faces that will be dominating the race probably. Sector times, what are they looking like? No improvements whatsoever, except for some invalid lap times, which are not really anything to be happy about. As a driver, not of course. As Drifting Casey is improving yet again. Can he knock someone out of this session? Can he bring Daru Cappy out of his glory days and get himself some glory for himself as he goes through the final sector right behind Junior? Onto the main straight we go. Both of them using DRS across the finish line. Two good looking sectors. What will it be? He moves himself up to P4 and the Raid Club and the Daru Cappy. Both Italians out of the session as it stands with only 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. And that's not lovely timing for those drivers, because the timing of it is a bit wonky due to the fact there's only 1 minute left, and that would mean that you are losing a good amount of chances to get yourself out of the session. Because the Raid Club has an invalid sector 1, but he will be able to start a new lap. The Daru Cappy not improving, but will be going on board with the Raid Club, putting in probably what is his final lap of the session. As I will be keeping an eye on the drivers crossing the finish line as well. Altman starting his final lap. In the meantime, the Raid Club, can he improve and get himself out of the drop zone? Of course, the top 7 advances here today in Indy. The rest of them, well, they can just grow a pair and go home, because it's over for them in qualifying. Hello Football improving as well. Where has he find the pace from? He cannot improve in the final sector though, as the session is not over yet. The Raid Club, but he's doing 30.7, something that's decent enough but not good enough. Lemon is improving, but we're still on board with the Raid Club. We're keeping an eye on the timing board. If Lemon can improve through the final 4 corners, the Raid Club goes. Was an invalid lap time for him anyway. I was looking at the Cappy's time, that's my apologies. As Lemon, final lap for him. Another improvement. He's done for this session, although he's not out of the session, I assume. The Raid Club pulls it into the pit lane. He's done as well. Will the final few drivers do finishing their lap improve? Let's go on board with I Love Football. As Infinity is done as well. Oh no, it's the Josh is done as well. And Robo improves. No, huh? Someone improved. Oh, Oddman has improved. My apologies. Oddman is done as well. And I don't think that Allah Football is gonna improve. He's out of the session as well. And just in case he pulls up his final lap of the session, so does Infinity. Infinity does improve, but it's not good enough for him to make up any positions. The drivers will be heading to the pit lane. Kip, his final lap. Not a improvement for him either.